so you can reference back to this if you need to for the office staff or later on. If you have any questions throughout the webinar in your sidebar, your control panel, just ask that question. I'll try to get to those as I go along, or we'll cover all of those at the end. So that being said, we're going to jump in to our newest Sedona One application, eForms. What is an eForm? So an eForm is an electronic document that's intended to be used in an electronic format or printed output. So for short, if you have any documents that are PDFs, you can turn those PDF documents into electronic forms. The same thing goes with proposals. So any document that you have right now that you're using that you want to turn into an electronic form, eForms is going to give you the ability to do that. Now, what is an e-signature? An e-signature is a signature that's captured on an electronic device. So it doesn't matter whether you're using a computer, tablet, phone. It will allow you, whether you're in the field or sending it electronically to a customer, for them to go on an electronic device and sign that electronic form. An electronic signature can be two different types. It can be a type font, or it can be signed with, for example, if you're using an iOS device and maybe you had an iPad, the electronic could just be signed with a stylus pen or a finger right on that specific device. And what's a digital signature? Digital signature will link that e-signature to the eForm. So if I have a contract, for example, and I upload that contract as what we call a PDF backdrop or overlay, and drag a field that I want to turn into a electronic signature box, when I deliver that form now, that PDF, the customer or the recipient will be able to, using their finger like we talked about, electronically sign it. And once that signature is saved, it will bind that signature to the physical PDF. Okay, and a digital signature meets strict standards to ensure that the e-signature is authentic. So we follow all of the e-sign acts and all of the federal electronic signature laws to make sure that that signature, when signed on these electronic forms, are binding and legally binding. Are my eForms safe and secure? So yes, all of your eForms are digitally secured and all the data is encrypted. We do have vaulting to vault your specific eForms. So once they're signed off, you can vault them and save those into the cloud. And you can also have any forms, which we'll touch on in a second, saved directly to your AlarmBiller customer profile if you're using AlarmBiller. So only authorized users that you allow within your company will have access to the specific eForms and the signed eForms, if you will, as well. Completed eForms can never be deleted, so they will be vaulted, and you'll have the option for multiple areas to automatically save those specific eForms. So eForms and customer documents, the two can tie hand in hand. So a document's created in eForm, it can automatically be moved into the Documents tab on the customer's profile. And you have two options with that. One is an auto move. So you can have in the preferences in eForms, for example, let's just say you have a contract and that's sent out to a customer to sign electronically. Once they sign it electronically, you can tell the application to automatically save that to the customer's documents in AlarmBiller. So the manual process, which obviously I wouldn't recommend and a lot of our customers are probably doing right now, is when you get, for example, a contract signed, you have to take that contract, you have to upload it into the customer profile in AlarmBiller. This will alleviate that step for any documents that you have the integration set up for. So when the signed eForm is completed by the recipient, it automatically stores it right to the customer profile, so there's no need anymore to upload or scan in any documents to the customer profile. So some of the features and functionality that we'll cover today: form creation, management and distribution system, how to create the whole life cycle from creating a template or creating the forms in the database, and how to distribute those to recipients. And like we just talked about, storing those electronically if you have the integration with AlarmBiller to the customer's profile. Now, there's a library that you'll be able to work off of. So when you're creating your library of form templates, there's two ways that, or a couple ways that you can handle this. You can take your existing PDF, so whether it's a contract, a customer contact form, 3-day cancellation notice, any form that you want, you can upload, and it will be a PDF backdrop. And from there, you can turn your forms into electronic forms by uploading those PDFs. Or we have what's called a WYSIWYG editor. This editor is built directly into eForms. So instead of uploading a PDF, if you want to create a specific form directly in the editor, you can build and customize it to your liking directly within the design mode and using our WYSIWYG editor, and we'll cover that. And so this option is if you don't have a PDF you're uploading and you just want to build your own directly into the templates for eForm. You can also create what are called packages. A package would be any number of specific templates that you've created, whether it's a PDF or WYSIWYG. So, for example, let's say you have an estimate that's sent out first, it's electronically signed, and then you have a bundle of forms that need to be signed after that: the contract, the 3-day cancellation notice, and a contact form. All of those 3 forms that you send after the estimate, you want those to be bundled or packaged together. So you can create packages that'll be delivered in one email or one instance, so you don't have multiple forms being sent to the customer. Full integration with AlarmBiller, where you can integrate specific fields, and we'll cover that in a second here. And you can also create custom proposal templates. So if you don't like the look and feel of our templates, you can create your own and any number of proposal templates to override the existing template that we have in AlarmBiller now. You can deliver any type of form, proposal, contract, we talked about that, and then complete data collection. So if you have a specific contract, for example, and you want fields that are specific to a specific customer in AlarmBiller, you can have those auto-populate a form, like a contract, for example, the name, address, site location, purchase price, taxes, etc., can auto-populate your specific forms based on the information as it exists within AlarmBiller. Also, workflow management. So if you want different stages and forms to be sent to different individuals automatically after a customer signs, for example, you can control the workflow of this too. So the eForm process, it's very simple. You create a template. It's the PDF overlay or the WYSIWYG editor. You deliver the template to the recipients. You capture the signature, and then you receive the completed eForms. Now, when it's integrated with AlarmBiller, you can create a template PDF overlay or WYSIWYG editor, and you can tell that specific template to integrate with AlarmBiller and pick which fields it's going to integrate with. So from there, for example, if I have a contract, I create the template, I tell it to auto-populate name, address, and other specific fields, deliver the template, capture the signature, and then receive the completed eForm, and it pushes it back into AlarmBiller and stores it in the customer profile. The WYSIWYG editor, it's a built-in editor to create your own forms. So for example, this is what that WYSIWYG editor would look like, and I'll show you an example when we dive into the application. But I basically am creating a template, and in that template I can drag and drop different shared fields as they exist in AlarmBiller and customize my own using this editor. The PDF upload would be taking an existing PDF, uploading it like this certificate of installation, and having shared fields dragged into this certificate so they'll auto-populate when I deliver it to the customer. So here's a sample of an alarm certificate. So we created that that upload, that PDF upload, and then we drag and drop shared data as they exist in AlarmBiller. And then here's when I go to deliver it to the customer, it'll auto-populate name, address, system, central station, and control panel type, and automatically send that PDF to the customer. A completed eForms, once they're completed, you have here's what it would look like with all the customer information. It's sent via email, or if I'm on site with a specific recipient, I can pull out a laptop, tablet device, and I can get signatures and complete forms directly on site as well. So auto emails will always be sent to customers for any forms that haven't been delivered or haven't been completed as well. The pricing for eForms, and we'll cover some discounts at the end of the demonstration. The pricing is just $25 per month, and this is per user, so a little bit different than the AlarmBiller pricing model. And we can discuss some of the promotions that we're going to run for the launch of eForms today. So if you need to get in contact with anyone, you can call myself. Here's our number, and my extension is 209. Here's my email address, and you can get in touch with me today to get in contact. So with that being said, we're going to go into the demonstration now, and we'll cover the discounted pricing at the end of the demonstration. So when logging into, I'm going to log directly into AlarmBiller. For any AlarmBiller users, after eForms is activated, eForms tab will be available on the top of the screen. So you can see if I click on this eForms, this will open up the eForms application. Now, there's a few different areas that I want to go over before I jump into eForms. Now, based on the integration type that you're creating for your templates, which we'll cover in a second, you'll see there's a couple different areas in where the eForms tab will be available. One of those main areas is in a proposal. So the three areas are the customer, the site, the system, and the proposal. So if I go into this proposal for Tom Hanks that I've already created, you can see there's now going to be an eForms tab. So after I create all of my templates, and I want to deliver those, you can deliver them directly in AlarmBiller for this specific customer, and for this example, this specific proposal that I have. Another nice feature is overriding templates. So if I wanted to override a template and print out this proposal, I can click Override Template, and this will now allow you to integrate with all of the templates that you have in the eForms application. So for example, I clicked Override Template, and I pick this package. I have a proposal with a cover letter, and click Print. This will automatically use that template that I created, and you'll still build your proposals the same way in AlarmBiller, adding your items and parts. But on this proposal now, you can see this look and feel is going to be much different. So I have my my cover letter, and then here's my proposal. I have part images. I have just my quantity description of services, total amount at the bottom. And so this is just overriding the template and using a custom template to send this proposal to the customer. Okay. Now that I've showed you that, I'm going to jump into eForms. And in eForms, you have a couple different sections. You have your home screen. Your home screen is going to show you all of your open active forms. Active forms are any forms that you have out for delivery to a specific customer or recipient. And then your completed forms are listed down in the bottom here too. Okay. And if I go to templates, templates are going to have any template that you've created. So you create the templates once in the system, and then you can reuse them over and over. So you can see I have all my templates listed. I have my 3-day cancellation notice, my contracts, my cover letters, my residential proposal, and you can see a couple of these use the WYSIWYG editor, so it's not, a PDF was not uploaded. And for example, if I drill into my all-in-one contract, this was a contract I took, I uploaded it, I wanted it to integrate with AlarmBiller at the proposal level, and if I click on design mode, this will show that that PDF that I uploaded. So I had the PDF, I uploaded it, and then I dragged specific fields into the document to turn it into an electronic document. So since this specific document was integrated with AlarmBiller at the proposal level, if you see the shared data over here, the shared data is all the data that exist in the AlarmBiller application. And if I click these drop downs, you'll see all the specific fields. So for example, for this specific document, for the purchase price, I just came in and I put in the net amount, and I drag that net amount into this field. So when I go into a specific proposal in AlarmBiller, it will automatically populate the purchase price, the taxes, the total, and then I created some editable fields, what are called form data fields, in which I can say the sender, for the example for this field, needs to put in the down payment before this is delivered. So if I have fields in a specific form, such as the date, down payment, approximate date of work, this is a date field, those are what we call form data fields. Those fields can be editable. So for example, if I say, okay, I want the salesperson or sender to have to put in this date field every time this form's delivered. I create the form data field, I drag it in, and then I say, okay, this field can be edited by the sender, and the sender is actually required to put in this date field before this form is delivered to the customer. Now, the recipient or the customer, I don't want them to be able to edit this, so I'm not going to check this box. If I did want them to be able to edit it, I check this box, and this basically is saying this document or this specific field can be edited. It can be edited by the sender. The sender is required to put in that date, and the recipient's allowed to override that and put in that field too. So when you're building the forms, you can have text boxes for name fields. You can have date fields. This specific field is a date field. You can have radio check boxes, and you can also drag in signature fields. So like we were talking about, if you have a signature box, you can drag and drop that signature field in, and I already have a few in here. But you can see this specific signature field is now electronic for this PDF, and this is for the subscriber, and then I have one here for the company as well. All of the shared data, again, these are all specific fields that will automatically pull based on the customer that we pick. So for example, if I want to click a quick preview here for Tom Hanks, and I click preview, you're going to see some of these fields are going to be auto-populated. Now, I'm not sending this out right now. I just want to look at a preview of what this will look like. So based on my proposal, these fields, purchase price taxes, these were auto-populated. So these are all the fields that I told this form I wanted to have auto-populated. Okay, so going back to available forms, that's a PDF upload. Now, you can also create templates like I was talking about for your specific proposals, and you can create as many as you want. So this is, you will use your WYSIWYG editor to do this, and in the application, it basically will give you a blank canvas in which you can now create the language, put in text boxes. So I dragged a text box in and put in specific language I wanted. I have charges, and a lot of customers have been asking for this. So for the charges, I can say what columns do I want to show up. I want the description of services, quantity, part images. Do I want to add the location on this? I can add the location. And so you can customize how you want this to look for your customers. So for example, if I just want all of these bundled in, and then I just want the net amount and pricing down here listed at the bottom, you can set it up how you'd like. For payment options, I added some radio check buttons that are required. So I make these are editable, and the recipients are required to pick one of these, but they can't pick more than one. And then I have some optional services down as well. So you can get pretty customizable, especially when you're building your proposals. You can customize it to your own look and feel, and then put in your language and sort that you want. So creating the templates are created once. And like I said about, you can also create packages. So I created a package and it'll have my cover letter, and residential proposal. And then I also created a package after my estimate signed for customer contact form, 3-day cancellation, all in one contract. So let's go back into the application now in AlarmBiller. And so let's, for example, if we created a proposal, and I already created a proposal for the sake of this demonstration, and we want to deliver this proposal via eForm. I have two options. I can either print this out and present it to the customer while I'm right there by clicking the override template, picking that template, and then clicking print, and I can get a signature right on the complete tab, or I can send it via eForm. So if I click add eForm for this proposal, I can pick the proposal that I want to, the template. So this basically, since I clicked on this eForms tab and I clicked add eForms, based on the integration type, all of the custom ones that I have set up as AlarmBiller and proposal, those are all going to be listed in here. So here's all of my custom proposals and specific templates that I created that have the integration type with proposal. So if I click on this package and click save, this is going to open up a new screen. This screen will automatically push those forms. So I have my cover letter in here and then my residential proposal. On the top left here, we have stages. So I'll cover stages first. Stages will allow for workflow. And each stage will be triggered based on the completion of the stage before. So for example, if you have a proposal and you want that proposal to be signed off by management first before it's delivered to the customer, I can click add a stage. And now in stage 1, I want to add a recipient, and I can add the recipient as manager. I can put in the email address, and this is automatically going to be sent to the manager first. Once the manager approves and signs off, then it will trigger the next stage, which will be to automatically send to the customer, Tom Hanks. And you can see, since I linked this with a customer proposal, well, I had an email address on file for Tom Hanks, so it automatically populated that as a recipient. You can add as many recipients as you want to each stage as well. So if I wanted to add a husband and wife, I just click add recipient, I add the wife, and then Tom Hanks and his wife would receive this form too. Now, override email body. I know I've gotten a lot of questions about, Justin, I want to be able to customize the body of the email that's delivered to the customer. Now you can do that. By clicking override email body, this will allow you to customize the body of the email as it's sent to the customer. So if I put in any specific language that I want, here is the body of the email that's going to be sent. Coming to the right here, you can put an expiration date, and then we have our forms. Now, with my proposal, I had some specific fields that I made required for the salesperson to fill out before it's sent to the customer. So if I go into this form, I can see here's all of the required form fields that I have that are assignable. So I have those payment options, and I want Tom Hanks to be able to have be assigned to these specific fields. So these required fields, Tom Hanks will have to pick one of them. And then since I assigned Tom Hanks to these specific checkboxes, Tom will now have access, if he wants, to pick these optional features as well. I also assigned Tom Hanks to this signature box. Tom will have to put in a date, and then you will also have to put in initials for the initial box that I added into. After that's done, I assigned all the fields, so these are both assigned. I can send this to Tom. Now, this is going to send an email to this email address based on the specific recipients. Now, if I'm right on site with Tom, I can also click Sign Now. Here's what the email would look like that was delivered to Tom. And so this was one that I created earlier. And then so for this one for Jimmy Fallon, here's the customized body of the email that was emailed. And Jimmy can just click Review Document, and it will drill open that document. And then from here, Jimmy will be able to sign this. So I'm going to go back to in the Sign Now mode for this specific form that we were working with. And the first page is going to be the electronic signature disclosure. So we have all of the terms to protect you in this application. It'll auto-populate your email address and your company here. So it'll auto-populate your name. And the customer will click accept. And then here's the electronic form. So here's your cover letter. And since this was a package, it has the cover letter. And then on the second page, here's the residential proposal. Now, these X's are all the required fields. So for example, if we go through this proposal, and I want to come up back to the top here, you can see that the name was auto-populated, the customer address, estimate number, date, pictures can be added now to parts. And when you're done, Tom can go through. So if I'm on my iPad, I'm with Tom Hanks, the customer, say, hey, he picks a 36-month contract. Tom wants to add these 2 optional services. Tom can pick the date that he's signing and then click sign now. So Tom can either draw this in or use font and pick a different style. There's Tom Hanks and click accept. Now, once Tom clicks accept, this will automatically send a PDF copy to Tom. It will send a notification to the sender. So whoever sent this to these Tom Hanks, to the recipient, will get a notification. And since I have the integration set up, it will also store this directly to Tom. So if I click refresh here, you can see this will go from blue to green. So it was automatically completed. If I want to download this signed form, I can download the form. So there's the signature with the initials. And if I want to look at the certificate, you can also look at the certificate. Now, I didn't have the GPS coordinates on. Oh, I did. So this will put in the IP address of that signature, and the GPS coordinates will be listed for those specific signatures. Now, since we have an integration with AlarmBiller, if I drill back into the customer profile, I can click on that customer now for Tom Hanks. Here's my proposal. It's automatically turned to accepted. And if I go to my documents, here's a copy of that signed document automatically stored to Tom's profile. So in Tom's profile, here's the form, the signed form, and then here's the certificate automatically signed too. Now, the next phase, and you can see there's an eForms tab at the customer level too. So the next page, I want to send out a bundle of my contract to Tom as well. So I'm going to come back into eForms. I'm going to click Add eForms, and I want the another package, so my new customer forms to be sent to Tom. I click Save. This will automatically pull in 3 forms, and what I have is I have a customer contact form. So here's the date field that I'm required to fill in. So I put in the date. I say, Tom, I'm going to assign him to all of these fields. Some of the fields are required, some aren't. Click Save for that form. I can go to my next one, the 3-day cancellation notice. Click Assign All. I need to put in the current date. And then my last one is the all-in-one contract. So I have a couple fields I got to fill out. I'm going to put in today's date. And then you'll be able to, some of the fields that I was talking about for the down payment, I can type in the down payment. I made these fields in the template required for the sender to fill out before he was, the individual, he or she, is allowed to deliver these forms to the customer or the recipient. Approximate date of work. And then I can click these check boxes if I want to. Second page, we have these filled out. And if we click Save, so all of these are a bundle now. And so the customer is going to have this customer contact form, 3-day cancellation notice, and all in one. Again, once I'm done assigning those, I can click Send. And after all of these are filled out, these will automatically save to the customer profile, alleviating that process to where you will need to manually upload those or not allow you to electronically get all of these forms signed out now. Now, jumping back into Tom Hanks, it'll be still the same process with your proposal. So again, once you're completed, you'll be able to turn your proposal, the signed one, and you can see the completed eForm right here, into a work order. So once you're completed, and once this is completely signed, you turn it into a work order, and it'll be the same exact process. Now that this is, that concludes the webinar today over eForms. So I am going to jump into some questions now and see if we have any listed over here. I had a question, can you upload legal size paper in the upload function? The answer is yes. You can upload legal size paper. You can have it in vertical or landscape. So you can upload either way for those. Can you upload from Word or Excel? No, you'll need to save it as a PDF document. And then when you go into, and I'll jump into the eForm, when you upload it, you'll click Add Single Use Form. Sorry, you'll go to your templates. You'll click Add Template. So if I just click, maybe this was a contract. I can put in a description. I can pick the type. So this is a contract, and then this is where the integration portion will come in hand. If I don't want it to integrate with any of the fields, I don't have to, but I can say, all right, I want this to integrate with AlarmBiller, and I want it to integrate at the proposal level. And then all I simply do is I click Select Files. I pick my PDF. I select Update. It will upload the PDF, and then, for example, in this contract, I drag and drop and turn this into an electronic form. All right, we'll go to a couple more questions here. If you have a bundle or one form is not required for some reason for that customer, can you choose not to send one of the forms in a bundle? Yes, absolutely. You can always delete a form. So if one of the forms you don't want to send when you're in delivery mode, I believe this is what you're asking, you can take that form off, and that one was already sent. So I can always add forms on. I can delete forms, and there's also a really nice feature to edit a specific form. So instead of editing the template, maybe you have this form and I want to make an edit just for this specific form. I can go into edit mode, make the customization for this specific form, not to the template, and then deliver that to the customer. So the answer is yes, you can customize what fields are required and which are not. Great question. Brian, will you be creating any pre-made proposal templates to use? We've talked about it internally at this time, no. If you have any questions or need any assistance with creating some proposals, we can definitely help you do that. I have a couple that I've created in-house, so I'm guessing you may have liked the way that mine looked. So if you contact me, we can kind of discuss what your needs are and build a customized proposal around what you're looking for. Ashley again. Also, when you are creating a form, can you make check boxes that are only required for the sender to complete? Yes. So what you can do is when you're creating the specific form and you create form data fields, you can add a form data field, and one of that data fields might be a checkbox. And so you create the form data field. You say, okay, this is a checkbox or a radio button. And so this, for example, is a checkbox. You drag the checkbox in, and then you say who can edit this. So this is a checkbox. This can be edited by the sender. The sender is required to fill in this checkbox, but the recipient won't be allowed to access this. So you can see when I say this can be edited by the recipient too, make it required, it'll turn that yellow, and then once I take it off. So this checkbox now that I've added is required for the sender to have to check before the form is delivered to the recipient. Can all forms uploaded to AlarmBiller that are emailed be electronically signed by a recipient? Can all forms? All forms that you create as templates that are uploaded, yes, you can have those required to be electronically signed by recipients. So if you have a form that's multiple pages, or you have multiple forms and each require a signature box, by all means, you can add an electronic signature box to all of those and make those required for the recipient or customer to have to fill out. And if any more questions are coming in, if I missed anything, any of these questions, I will make sure we jump to those. This kind of concludes today's demonstration. And let's go over, I have a poll